All right, so let's take up this practice quiz that I gave you guys on Friday to prepare for your test tomorrow. For all answers, reduce to lowest fractions or mixed fractions, no decimals. All words must be shown for full marks. For this polynomial right here, the number of terms. How many terms are there? Should I go around the class? I'm going to go around the class since we have a small group. So, Sophie? A? How many terms? All right, so terms are separated by plus or minus sign. All right, so we have 1, 2. So it's 3. Okay, so 3 terms. Rachel, constant. 4. Yeah, the constant is just the number by itself, so it's 4. The coefficient in the second term, Naomi.
Second term is the xy.
Yep, this term.
So 1.
Think carefully. Very close. Not just 1, but
1 to negative.
negative 1. Okay, the sign in front goes with it. So this one is actually negative 1. The degree of the second term. Sophia. The degree of this term. What's the invisible exponent here? Yeah, so there's an invisible 1 right here. So it's 8. Anjali, the degree of this overall polynomial. Okay, so we know the degree of this term is 8. We know the degree of this term is 0. What's the degree of this term? 5 plus 4?
9.
9. Okay, so what's the highest out of the 3? This was 0, this was 8, this was 9. So the highest of the 3, 9. Right. All right. Give yourself 5 marks if you got those correct. If you put 1, it's not half a mark off. It's a full mark off. So you have to have exactly that to get the full 5 marks. Okay. Brianna, can you give an example of a trinomial?
3x to the power of 5 minus x squared plus 7.
Okay, I like that. So as long as you have a plus, like 2 symbols, a plus or a minus, all right, to separate the 3 terms. As long as it's 3 terms, it's a trinomial. You can even copy this down because this was a trinomial. Okay, Bella, this one, is xy the same as yx? Yeah, so we could combine them. So what is your final answer here?
Negative 4x squared plus 10xy.
Perfect. Okay, so these 2 are like terms because it's x squared, and these 2 are like terms because they're xy. So negative 4x squared plus 10xy. Okay. So 2 marks. Okay. Next one, Jennifer.
6x cubed minus 8x.
6x cubed minus 8x squared. Good. Okay, so this right here and this right here goes together. But the 2 negatives make it a plus. So positive 8x cubed minus 2x cubed gives you the 6x cubed. And then the x squared terms go together. Plus and a minus make a minus. And so you get the negative 8x. Okay, should I separate you 3? Anjali, should I separate you 3?
No.
Okay. I'll take that as an answer for now.
Because they have a 3, that one has 2.
C, Brian.
Negative 10x minus 55.
Plus 15y minus 55. Perfect. Okay, distribute. So you have to multiply the negative 5 to everything inside the bracket. Keep in mind, negative, negative makes a positive. Okay? So that's, okay, so, oh, wow, okay. 3 marks for 3 terms. All right, Sonia? Sure, you can pass. Haley? Pass, okay. Antonia?
Negative 12x minus 3.
Negative 12x minus 3. Okay. Did everybody get that? Agree? Good. Okay. So to show the step, to show the step in between, 9 times negative 2x is negative 18x. 9 times 1 plus 9. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 4, negative 12. So then this term and this term goes together to give you this term. And then the 9 and the negative 12 gives you the negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, 3 marks. Okay. If you did this in your head, like let's say you didn't show the step and you made a mistake here and said negative 12x minus 4, then you're only going to get 1 mark out of the 3 because I don't know how you got that negative 4. Right? So sometimes that's why I always say show steps. When you show an extra step, even if you make a silly mistake that 9 minus 12 is 4, I will still only take off 1 mark. Okay? Annie, check this out. Okay? Ça va bien? Merci.
May I have one paper, please?
This is from Friday.
I don't. Okay. Let me put my Bible.
Yes, you should. Hi. Angelique, can you move one chair over? One spot over. No, so. Yeah, sit there, please. Until we finish picking this up. Do you have your paper so that you can grade yourself?
You're in big trouble, Mom.
So let's pay attention. Okay. So this next one, notice it's out of 4, so don't just write the final answer. So show some work. So distribute, so multiply. Distributive property means multiply it in. So 2x squared times 7x squared, you get 14x4. 2x squared times negative 8, you get negative 16x cubed. And then 2x squared times negative 5, you get negative 10x squared. Okay, remember when you multiply, you add the exponents. This to this?
Yeah.
So you just multiply the coefficients. Yeah. So you're not grouping any variables together because there's no variable here. But then these ones you could because you are multiplying. Oh, that's a good point, Annie. Yeah, when you multiply, Annie, you don't need the same base. When you multiply, you can multiply x times y times z together. But you can only add the exponents if it's the same base. Okay. All right. Here, negative 3x times 4x squared, negative 12x cubed. Again, same base. I can add the exponents. That's exponent 1 right here. Negative 3x times negative 6x, you get positive 18x squared. Negative 3x times the 2, you get negative 6x. Okay. Like terms. Are there any like terms for 14x4?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, so 14x4. Okay. What about negative 16x cubed? What goes with that one?
Negative 12x.
Perfect. And together they make? Yeah, so negative 16 minus 12?
28.
Negative 28.
No,
3. Good. Okay, it was one of both. Remember when you're adding like terms together, You're adding. Adding doesn't change the exponent. When does it change? When you multiply. Yeah. Okay. And then negative 10x squared goes with the positive 18x squared. So plus 8x squared. And then lastly, the negative 6x, it's by itself. So you get this. Okay. Later on, when we do factoring, that's when we'll put them into factor form again. But that's not until grade 10. Grade 10 you do factoring. Grade 9 we do expanding. Yeah. Sorry, Bella. Yep. Okay. So that's your final answer there. 4 terms, 4 marks. Okay. F. Okay. Is this a monomial, trinomial? What is this? And this? Yeah, it's just a monomial times a monomial. So you're multiplying the coefficients together. Negative 9 times negative 3? Positive what? Good job. 27. The x times x? 2. Good. X squared. And y to the 4th times y to the 7? When you multiply, you add the exponents. So y to the 11. Yeah. That's it. That's your answer. Can't simplify it anymore. Okay, 2 marks. This right here, my square is on the outside of the bracket. So what does that mean? Yeah, it applies to everything inside the bracket. So it's negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. And then x to the exponent 8, because exponent to exponent we multiply. Some people do the square to the x as well. Right? And whenever x to the power 4 is one thing. So you don't do x square and then 8. So it's just that, 9x, 8. 2 marks. Okay. This next one. Okay. Bed mass. Be very careful. Bed mass. So don't multiply yet. Brackets? Is there anything we can do inside this bracket?
2, 4, 2, 3. Wait, no.
Okay. I get what you mean. Yeah. So exponent. So you have to apply this exponent to everything inside this bracket first. Okay. So 6xy5, leave that as is. And then 4 square, 16. X to the power 2, x squared. Y cubed squared, y to the 6. Okay. Next, Angelie, we're going to multiply. So what's 6 times 16?
96.
I see that since you have your phone in your hand, I figured you'll have a calculator. X times x squared?
X3.
Good. And then y5 times y6?
5.
Okay. What do we do to the exponents?
Oh,
So 5 plus 6?
5 plus 6. 11.
11. Thank you. Okay. 3 marks. And then here, multiply. So 3 times 5, 15. And then add the exponent, so 12. Okay, take away. Be very careful with the brackets right here. So your exponent applies to the negative 2. So what's negative 2 to the power of 4? 16. Remember, it's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So it's positive 16. And then x to the power of 12. Okay, so it's 15x to the power of 12 minus, from here, positive 16x to the 12. So my final answer here is just negative x to the power of 12. So 1 mark, 2 marks. So 3 marks. Okay. Oh, okay.
You smart.
Okay. Sorry? Yep. Okay. Next, number 5. Oh, last 2 questions. Yeah. I created a whole channel for you guys.
How many subscribers do you have?
You didn't subscribe.
Oh, let me check. Oh, damn.
Only, yeah.
I think people just watch, not subscribe.
I know, right?
Yeah, if I
sad.
was subscribed, I'll subscribe. I'll spam subscribe. I'll go on and off and on and off.
Simplify, then evaluate if x equals 3 and y equals negative 2. So there's 2 parts to this question. Simplify and then evaluate. So make sure you do that. Simplify first. Multiply, 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 multiply. So you get 5x minus.
15y.
Good.
Plus.
Yeah.
9y.
Mm-hmm.
And then 18x. Sorry. No, it's plus.
Plus, right. Don't forget the sign. You always have to connect the terms with a sign. All right. Group the like terms. Group the like terms together. 5x plus 18x.
20. I don't know.
23x.
And then 15 and 19. You add.
Uh-huh.
26. No. My math is not mathing. Help.
Negative 15 minus 9.
4. 24.
Yeah. 24 what?
Y.
Yeah.
2.
Oh, just y. Just y. Good. Now, so we simplified it. Now we're going to sub in these 2 values. So,
23. 3.
good.
And then 24. 2. Bracket negative 2.
Good. Okay, and whenever you substitute, make sure you put it in brackets. Without brackets, you change the whole question. Okay, so 23 times 3, take away 24 times negative 2. So you get 117. Okay, remember here, negative 24 times negative 2, it's positive. It's plus 48. Okay, so 1 mark, 2 mark, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. Actually, no. Okay. 2 mark for the expanding, 1 mark for simplifying, 1 mark for the substitution correctly, and 1 mark for the final answer. Okay. Last question, number 5. Given the following, write a simplified expression for perimeter and area. So, my beautiful drawing, not to scale. For perimeter, how do you calculate the perimeter of anything? Brianna? You add up all the side lengths. So how many sides do I have in this figure? Angelie, I'm going to keep asking you until you put that phone away. How many sides do I have in this shape? Count again. Count again. 6. Right. I have 6 sides, but I only have 4 sides of numbers. So I need to figure out how long this is. How long is this side right here? How long is... Okay, I know the whole length on the bottom is 10. I know this part is 4. So this part is... Right, well, remember these 2 sides have to add up to 10. So if this is 4, that means this is 6. So this side, 6x. Okay. This side right here is 7. If this side is 3, that means this side is 4. Yeah, so 4y. Okay. Now that I have every side, I can do my perimeter. So add up all the sides. 4x plus 7y plus 10x plus 3y plus 6x plus 4y. Okay? So perimeter equals the x, all the x goes together, and then all the y's goes together. So 20x